All right, M3 fam, welcome to Motherhood Madness and Marvels. If you're new here, you know this is where we focus on growing a business or starting a business while raising children, and more than raising children, while putting being a mother first. Everything that I do is for the future of my children, and I talk about my businesses and my journeys. So Stephanie Victoria here, and in this episode, I want to talk about kind of the freedom that I have. And it's freedom in so many ways that I wish I had gone full steam ahead sooner. So if you watch some of my other videos, I'm a nurse and now a nurse entrepreneur, mom entrepreneur. But I've tinkered with entrepreneurship. I've been trying to do it so many times, and I'll go through all of the steps. I think I'll do that as a separate business. But July of last year, 2021, I resigned from a corporate job, doing pretty well for myself. And just because, honestly, it was the same old, same old. So in nursing, you could be in bedside, which I did bedside forever. Bulk of it's in oncology, absolutely loved it. Then I went into teaching. I say I'm a natural born teacher. I'll be somewhere old and gray teaching someone about something. Maybe they'll have like a youth students come to my home and I'll teach them something. That's just me. That's just what I'm going to do. So it feels good when you find your calling, but when you're working for other people, they hire you and you meet the job description, but it's almost as though you're not supposed to really do it too well. If anyone's in corporate America, academia, anything like that, you completely understand. So the past couple of years, I had been in these middle management roles, which are the work of, you know who, it's awful. They're just awful. I was gonna say work of the devil. I'm trying to scan but middle management roles are just all the responsibility without any authority. You'll take the fall, but when you have an idea and things like that, you don't have full authority to implement them. Anyway, this video is not about that, but I gave my notice and then I was like, oh, well, let me find another job. And I would see jobs with like great titles. In the meantime, I had already opened my private occupational school, but my plan was to work it in the evening, just on a small scale until I revved up, and I was planning on leaving 2 or 3 years from there. So I would see job titles and I just couldn't even apply. And I was getting 1 or 2 customers and students and things like that, and holding certificate programs. And it wasn't yet replacing my income, but I just could not apply. I couldn't hit the apply button. Like I got a little nauseous actually to hit the apply button. So that's not even the fault of anyone or even the last company. It's just that every position that I've had, all my training has led me to this. So what is this, right? Right now, I would say that going 100% entrepreneurial is a type of freedom that I just could not have imagined in a lot of different ways. Yes, it's stressful. You might work more or less or in a different capacity, but you truly own your day and your kind of energy output. And I'm trying to word it, you own your potential, if that makes sense. You know, sometimes like I'm busy running around, I'm like, oh, I need to close some people. I get on calls and I'm able to close some students, right? On my leads. You own your potential and how big you could think or what you want to do, which is ultimate freedom, even more than schedule freedom. So that's how I feel. And that's how I feel, not making an assumption that other moms and women want to feel as well. So let me talk about it some more and delve it into deeply. So when it goes to your schedule, right? And I've been saying on some other videos how I just didn't run labs the month of September because I wanted to settle my children back into school. Outside of, but my business wasn't closed. It's a hybrid. So I own a private occupational school. And so outside of that, I run labs every other week is my typical schedule, in-person labs with students. And when those weeks are revving up, I'm like a little bit stressed. But when I sit and think about it, I used to do 3 12-hour shifts or work more or be on call 24/7. Depending on the lab size, sometimes it's 2.5 days worth of me physically being there teaching labs with my students. And I love my students and they're fun and engaging. If the lab group is larger, I have another instructor helping me and it's like 3 full days, like 9:30 to 5:30, just because it's a bigger class size. But when you think about that, and I know for everyone who's in corporate America or anything, that's definitely, and that's every other week. That's definitely huge, right? I look at the clock, I want to drop my children off to school and settle myself. So I just start labs at 9:30. Like I just set the time and we were actually thinking, should we go to 10 a.m. because a lot of my students are parents or take public transportation or trying to navigate. So anytime I want to adjust my schedule, I can just look at what's going on in my life, my children's life, and adjust. We were actually going to, instead of 3 days and going to 5:30, which a lot of times I don't go to 5:30 if the class sizes are smaller, I keep enrolling them because I do it every other week. I was actually going to make it a 4th day, like 4 days doesn't really matter. The lab session and really say we're ending at 2:30 or 2 and make it like a 10 to 2. So I'm never somewhere for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. And in the world of commuting back and forth. So that in itself has just added a lot to our children being able to do their activities in the afternoons and all of that. And we know that whole activity schedule. So that freedom of your time and freedom, I talked about freedom of your potential, where I'm excited, like I have ideas about membership groups and other YouTube pages where I'm teaching more nursing, not just a nursing assistant and EKG and allied health certificates, but full the way I used to do as a nursing professor, in terms of meeting the changes that are going to happen. There is no stopping me from doing another YouTube page, doing anything else. Like Motherhood Madness and Marvels is based on a charades game that I developed for a business that I have, educating women about their reproductive cycle from menstrual cycle to menopause. This was a few years ago, but I was working, having children. And when you work for someone else, your time, they're paying you for a certain amount of your time. So you don't have all that other time to really develop something for your own potential. So that's huge. And the next thing I want to say too, that I feel that has been the best really is the freedom to be as creative as I want. With my main business being the private occupational school, I have creativity in how I teach certain things, but it's not full creative because obviously, and as it should be, certificate programs has standard regulations that have to be met, so we set a level of competency for those entering the field. But when I say creative, for example, my company called Our 28 Days, where I was telling you I'm creating a suite of unique ways to educate women on all aspects of their reproductive cycle. My creativity is just spilling over everywhere and it's actually exciting. So where I just have a notebook about the launch and what we're going to implement, and I could delve into it 100%. I don't have to answer anybody or convince anybody of my creativity. Online, the people who follow you and who get your messaging are going to resonate. So it seems odd, but you really can show up as your authentic self. But so I just wanted to post this video to just help people who are looking, moms who are looking to start a business, or moms who are starting and maybe it's difficult and things, that it is a community where we're all going to support each other and to just keep going. So Motherhood Madness and Marvels, where we marvel at the madness of being a mom. And by madness, I mean madness in every way, chaos, but it is good, a good type of madness. So again, I always tell you guys, I'm a mom of 3 and we're in this together. So every day is a challenge or I learn something new. So that's it for this video. Click the link below to join our community and our newsletter as I share some of my tips and tricks and how I navigate being a mom running several businesses. But my mommy win for today, I always share my mommy wins. Before I do, don't forget to like and subscribe. My mommy win for today is October 30th. You'll probably see me with the same outfit because I don't like the videos to be too long. So I'll record a couple of videos. So I don't really know if it was a mommy win, or I guess a mommy win because I was able to navigate the situation. My daughter's in a coding class and started with an instructor that she loved and switched to another instructor who wasn't bad, but the interpersonal kind of communication skill or dynamic with my daughter just wasn't working. And we gave her like 3 tries. And basically talk about freedom, we're switching our whole schedule around because I reached out to them and to see when her original instructor, what days they were available. And we're just switching around the coding classes. And I'm able to move some things around on how I move and operate so that she can get back to an activity she loves with the instructor that she loves. So being able to advocate and navigate, I would say, for my daughter's benefit is definitely a mommy win. All right, so go ahead, leave your mommy wins down below. Click the link below to join our community and sign up for our newsletter and kind of see all the things that I'm doing. And drop your mommy wins in the comment. All right, take care. Bye.